Here are 10 events that took place on May 30 in history. On May 13, 1943, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League played its first official game in the United States. It was established during World War II when many Major League Baseball players, male players, were serving in the military, creating concern that professional baseball might be suspended. Team owners and organizers then created a women's league to maintain public interest in the sport and keep stadiums operating. The league recruited skilled women athletes from across the country and Canada and formed teams in Midwestern cities. Games were played throughout the summer with strong attendance. The league continued for more than a decade, ending in 1954, and it expanded athletic opportunities for women and influenced later developments in women's professional sports. On May 30, 1922, the Lincoln Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C. It was built to honor President Abraham Lincoln and to symbolize national unity after the Civil War. Construction began in 1914 using marble from Colorado and limestone from Indiana, following a classical Greek temple design by architect Henry Bacon. The dedication ceremony included speeches by President Warren Harding, former President William Howard Taft, and civil rights leader Robert Morton. The memorial soon became a major public gathering place. In the decades that followed, it served as the site of significant civil rights events, including Marian Anderson's 1939 concert and Martin Luther King Jr.'s 1963 I Have a Dream speech. On May 30, 1911, the first Indianapolis 500 race was held at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The event was created to promote advances in automotive engineering and to test the durability of early automobiles under extreme conditions. Drivers competed on a 2.5-mile oval track for a total of 500 miles, completing 200 laps. Ray Harun won the race using a homemade rear-view mirror, which allowed him to drive without a riding mechanic. It was a common practice at the time. The race demonstrated the potential of new automotive technologies and attracted national attention. It became an annual event and grew into one of the most important competitions in global motorsport. On this day in 1925, the May 30th Movement began in Shanghai. It was triggered when British-controlled police opened fire on Chinese protesters during a labor dispute involving Japanese-owned textile mills. The shootings caused major public outrage and led to widespread demonstrations against foreign control and unequal treaty systems. Students, workers, and merchants organized strikes, boycotts, and mass marches across Shanghai, Guangzhou, Hong Kong, and other major cities. The movement expanded into a nationwide campaign demanding political rights and economic independence. It strengthened Chinese nationalism and contributed to the rise of organized political movements, including both the nationalist and communist parties. On May 30, 1806, Andrew Jackson fought a duel with Charles Dickinson near the Red River in Kentucky. The conflict developed from disputes over horse racing bets and personal insults exchanged in newspapers. The duel followed formal dueling protocols, with both men using pistols at close range. Dickinson fired first and struck Jackson in the chest, but Jackson remained standing, took deliberate aim, and fatally shot Dickinson. Jackson carried the bullet in his body for the rest of his life. The incident enhanced his reputation for personal toughness and contributed to the public image that later supported his political career and eventual presidency. May 30, 1539 is the supposed date of Hernando de Soto's landing on the west coast of Florida as part of a Spanish expedition to explore the interior of North America. His mission was to locate wealth, establish Spanish influence, and find potential trade routes. De Soto led several hundred soldiers along with horses, livestock, and equipment through present-day Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas. The expedition frequently clashed with indigenous communities, resulting in violence, forced labor, and the spread of European diseases. De Soto died in 1542 near the Mississippi River. The remaining members of the expedition retreated to Mexico, but the journey left lasting impacts on indigenous populations. May 30, 1431 is symbolically the date that the Ming Dynasty began expansion of the Forbidden City in Beijing. The project was ordered to strengthen imperial authority and accommodate the administrative and ceremonial needs of the growing state. Thousands of laborers, artisans, and craftsmen constructed new halls, courtyards, gates, and ritual spaces using traditional Chinese architectural techniques, using timber framing, glazed tiles, and axial symmetry. The expansion reinforced the Forbidden City's role as the political and cultural center of the empire. It remained the seat of imperial power throughout the Ming and Qing dynasties until the monarchy ended in 1912. The Peasants Revolt of 1381 began when villagers in Essex, England, refused to allow tax collectors to operate on May 30, sparking the wider uprising. The revolt was caused by heavy taxation, especially the poll tax, combined with the economic strain following the Black Death and resentment towards feudal labor obligations. Rebels from Kent and Essex organized marches towards London, demanding the end of serfdom and also asking for fair wages and legal reforms. They entered the city, attacked government buildings, and executed several officials. Negotiations were attempted, but the revolt collapsed after leader Wat Taylor was killed during a meeting with King Richard II. The uprising was suppressed, but it exposed deep social tensions and influenced later changes in labor practices. May 30 is commemorated as the day that the Roman forces breached Jerusalem's second wall in 70 CE during the First Jewish-Roman War. The siege was launched to suppress the Jewish revolt and restore Roman authority in Judea. Roman legions under Titus used siege engines, battering rams, and continuous assaults to weaken the city's defenses. After breaking through the second wall, they advanced deeper into the city and eventually captured the temple complex. The Romans destroyed the Second Temple and much of Jerusalem. The fall of the city marked a major turning point in Jewish history and solidified Roman control over the region. On May 30, 1431, Joan of Arc was executed in Rouen, France. She had been captured the previous year and put on trial for heresy by an English-backed ecclesiastical court seeking to undermine her military influence during the 100 Years' War. The trial involved months of interrogations focused on her visions, military role, and refusal to submit to English authority. She was convicted and sentenced to death. Joan was burned at the stake in the marketplace at Rouen. Her execution strengthened her legacy as a national and religious figure, and she was formally exonerated in 1456 and canonized in 1920. Those were 10 events that took place on May 30 in history.